Yes.
Oh, we put it on vibrate, huh?
Call to order the meeting of the November 18th, 2024 Board of Registrars meeting at 11:03. Present at the meeting is myself, City Clerk Grace Poirier, Republican Registrar Doug Parsons, Democrat Registrar Mark Nestor, and Independent Registrar Barry Pett, and also is Marie Giambanco, who is our election specialist. The first item to take up is approval of minutes from July 18, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
By Barry, seconded by Doug. Is there any discussion on them?
I thought we were gonna include the minutes, even though it happened afterwards, the inquiry from the audience regarding the written documents that we used, reviewed for Mr. Hobbs's. I think that what her name was.
Oh, from Patty Page.
Yeah,
No, that was after the meeting had concluded.
yeah, I know, but I think I wanted it was to be in the minutes only because of the content of the,
The letter that he had sent in.
well, yeah, I mean, technically, we probably should have just reopened the meeting to have her talk.
I remember that now. So what happened though with that was, I have to think back a few months. That was a request from Patty Page, who had wanted to see the documents that we referenced,
That I referenced.
that you
Right.
referenced in the meeting, and that was emailed to her.
We're behind.
That was referenced in the email that went to her. So I believe everyone was copied. I don't think that we can add anything. Once the meeting is closed, we can't add to the minutes.
Next time I'll just reopen the meeting.
Yeah.
All right. Because that was my concern, there was a substance that
Yeah.
related to Bud.
Yeah, and it did end up, she got all the information that
Right.
she was looking for.
But for the
And-
purpose, but for the purpose of these minutes, we can
Right.
create, we can explain what happened. So that,
Yeah.
that meeting took place on July 18th, when we were reviewing the qualifications of Bud Hobbs
Right.
to serve as an election worker. He was recommended to us by the local Republican committee. In that meeting, Barry Pett referenced a document that made him concerned about potentially appointing or putting Bud's name forward to be a registrar. And there were no questions or comments from Mr. Hobbs at that time or from anyone who was at that meeting. Once the meeting closed, once the meeting was adjourned, a member of the audience, Patty Page, requested to see those documents. Those documents were emailed to her. The documents were a letter that he had sent to, a vote by mail application that he had sent to the state, just kind of speaking down to the vote by mail process. And I don't recall, I think that was it, as far as
Yeah,
the
it
letter.
was very vocal, but it was his belief of what way things should be versus the law. And during the meeting, we had said the law, and when I had asked him about the document, he had just said he didn't recall it. So I just left it at that. I didn't bring it up, during the meeting.
Yeah.
And we did vote to approve his name, move it forward. And then after the meeting, again, when Mark, we asked her, let her speak, and she did, but I don't know how you would, again, I don't think you can put it in the
You
minutes.
can't put it in these minutes.
Because the meeting was already closed.
But the
Adjourned, right.
minutes can, these minutes today can
Right.
reflect that process that happened.
Yeah, because my concern was more than one question and you want the guidance that Suzanne, that she didn't give it that time, I take that back, she gave it to you afterwards. All right, that's my only concern, because it was a substantive issue that potentially we probably should have just reopened the meeting and put on the record. And I wasn't happy that she waited till afterwards to do it, but that's my only concern. I want to make sure it's memorialized someplace.
Yeah.
So we don't have any backlash.
Okay, we'll put them in these minutes to reflect this
Okay,
discussion.
Thank you.
So it's been moved by Barry Pett, seconded by Doug Parsons. All in favor?
Aye.
It's 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Next is the counting of FWABs, federal write-in absentee ballots, and ballots mailed from outside of the United States for the November 5th, 2024 state election, postmarked by November 5th, 2024, and received by parcel post on or before the November 15th, 2024, 5 p.m. deadline. And the citation for that is Mass General Law, Chapter 54, Section 95.
I don't know if you need that or not, Grace. I didn't make 5, I guess. So, that's the list that I have for the FWABs. We'll start off with 1-1. Wait, who's first on your list? Because I don't have it.
Ian Horsley?
She's 1-1 as well. Okay. So,
Could I just add, what's that, how many total were there? So we, so I
I
guess,
think
well,
there's-
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
look at that at the
8,
top.
9, 10, 11,
I think I have it up there somewhere,
Ten.
didn't
11?
we got 10 listed.
There's 10
10.
listed.
I don't see it. Yes, can you see third line in the heading here? We'll find the heading, federal write-in absentee
Okay.
ballots
Okay,
and received.
So for the record, there were 10 FWABs that this office received. And after reviewing the voter files, it has been determined that 8 of them are eligible to be counted because they did not return any other ballot. And 2 of them had also requested vote by mail ballots, or absentee ballots, which they received. So their federal write-in absentee ballot is not eligible to be counted.
So for 8 of them, they qualified, they were,
I've got them right here. We'll go over each one. Because you have to hand count them, I believe, right? So Ann Sibley. Can I just put her in my hand? Yes, Ann Sibley. We received her FWAB. This is a poor sample of what they look like. These ones are much better. We received hers, and this is the only one that we received for her. Received on 10/10. No other ballot was submitted by her. So just so for your understanding, when a federal write-in absentee ballot application comes in with a ballot attached to it, you can open that up and look at it because we are going to need to count it. They allow them to use these kind of ballots, and they're not a full ballot, they're just blank, and the voter writes in who they want to vote for the certain races. It's the responsibility of the office to get a full ballot out to that voter, so we use this application that comes with it as a request for a ballot. And so if time allows, if it's not past the deadline and time allows, we are obligated to get them a full ballot. And we do that. If they don't vote it, that's up to them, then we count the FWAB. If they vote it, then we count the full ballot instead of the FWAB. They don't need to be registered voters to do this. They just need to show that they prove that they are citizens. And I need to prove that they have a relationship with Gloucester, and assumably under the penalties of perjury, they're signing it as the last place they resided prior to leaving the country.
you have proof of the postmark by November 5th?
This one came in on October 10th.
How do we have proof of that?
My email, my application, my entries into the system. They come by email.
now when they do come in, let's say that, in this case, Ann Horsley Sibley, said she lived, well, here it says, Ward 1, precinct one. Let's say when she sent hers in, you said she doesn't have to be, she has to, but let's say she said she was in Ward 5 or something. How do you determine?
I go by the address that's on her application.
Okay,
And I look back at their record. We have a history. And if I don't find it, I go to street lists, previous street lists. One of them I had to go back to, I think, 1970 for a street list to prove, yeah.
that they were eligible.
That
to
they were
vote.
eligible, and they can also be eligible through family name. So if their parents resided at the address that they're putting on the application, they also can qualify as a family name.
So say this
But if
person,
they-
Sibley, say related to George Sibley
Yes.
at that address.
Yes, then if it's a son or daughter of them or what have you, then yeah, husband or wife.
Okay.
And you can just track out where they were. And I just point blank ask them generally, where is the last place you resided prior to leaving the country? Some of them are pretty cut and dry. You have a history on them. You've seen activity from them for recent, and so you don't have to question it.
Okay.
Some of them I do question, and some of them I've rejected, and some of them are difficult.
You got the spec by email, right?
I believe so.
Was there a heading, was there a cover email that shows the date that you received it on a document?
Probably. Well, the email itself.
Right,
Yeah, I didn't print all the emails.
wouldn't it be a mistake to attach this to the document?
This one was in within the time frame, though.
No, I understand, but
From election day to the 10 days after is where you would be questioning when it came in.
yeah, I'm just playing devil's advocate. If this came out in an email, there was an email heading sheet or there was something on the sheet that showed printed date and time.
You do have that, or you said you do
Well,
have that.
all of these things, most of these come through the email system, yeah.
Right.
You do
I
have
don't
them.
print all of the emails, no, because a lot of times there's a long thread of conversation and what have you,
So
so
wouldn't you
yeah.
have at least the last page that this was attached to?
Yeah, I have never done that, but I can, if the board wants, we can go ahead and change that policy and make that part of the process.
I would think to make it more secure that if you've got an actual document, email that has the date and time on it, that this was
Well-
attached to.
You've got your date down.
No,
there.
I understand that
Is it
handwritten date.
timestamp?
No,
Oh, this one's not timestamped, that's right.
that's my question.
Yeah.
I don't have anything on this one.
I probably-
so
I missed timestamping it or something.
so my question, my suggestion would be that in the future, to keep it accurate, since it's an email. If there's a document, as you said, there's an email cover sheet that comes with it, it has the date and the time
That the email said.
that an email was sent, that we would attach that to this document just to close the loop. So if I'm a third party coming out, I've got an actual piece of paper versus
Yeah.
I'm relying on you saying that you got in such and such a date.
Yes, you are.
Especially if,
And I'm cute and adorable, but some other people may not be so cute and adorable.
if you,
Cute and adorable.
if you go back and look at, say, an election, like, say, when I was running for city council, and I ended up, after everything else, after the recount, I lost by 1 vote. If someone was questioning something like this,
We'd
that'd
just
be
go
a good,
pull it.
yeah, I understand, you'd be able to, look, you have the email, but I think what Mark's point is well taken, that if, when it does come in, why not just print it out and attach it to it, and it's there.
When the email is the timestamp.
Right,
Yeah.
so I've got something from the system.
I should have
that
timestamped it.
says,
I must have missed time.
Okay,
yeah, but the best protection you've got to protect you too is if you've got the cover sheet, then you can say to a third party, this is what it came in, especially as Barry said, if there's a 1 or 2 vote difference,
Right.
if I was representing Barry and the vote was against Barry, quite truthfully, I would probably say, where's the proof?
And I'd get it for you.
I understand that, but it's a whole lot easier to have this versus
Yeah.
making you go back and forth to the office 20 times if there's a contested election, so it just protects everybody.
Okay.
Question of curiosity, they don't have to be a registered voter, they don't even have to live here, they can go to an address, like their parents' address. Is there an age limit to how long they can use their parents' addresses? Okay, so as long as the parents are alive,
Not even.
no, you, okay.
And we have to establish the connection to the address they provided in box 2 on that application.
Third, Doug, when your kid's 60 and he's still living with you, you gotta count him.
So that is 1-1, not 5-1. isn't it? I put
Yep.
5-1. Does it say on the bottom, the top, was she a voter or an SQ?
It doesn't say on this.
Didn't
one.
say.
Not on that, and this was so quick, I did that on the, what Barry's looking at.
I don't see on
I
it.
don't see,
Voter.
Okay.
oh, okay, no, all right. And now, when we're looking at this, the only thing that she, in this case, voted for was president and senator.
I haven't looked at it.
Yeah, we haven't
Yeah,
looked at, so the first
no,
thing we
I
have to
understand,
do
but-
is, but the first thing we have to do is check in the voter,
Okay,
and then we read the,
okay,
just to separate the names from the votes.
okay. So are we gonna do them one at a time, complete all the way through? And then move on to the next one with, et cetera, et cetera? So we don't, we're not just gonna check them all in and then go through it, okay?
Presumably need to take a vote to accept it, and then we need to count it.
Yeah. Okay,
Is
did you look?
That the appropriate two-step, Madam Clerk?
Yes,
That's just can stay on the floor until you decide. So if someone wants to read off that address to me,
Or, Sibley,
Yeah,
mhm,
that'd be 1 Bickford Way.
1 Bickford Way, and her name, please,
I'm sorry,
and her name, please,
Ann Horsley hyphen Sibley.
and Horsley hyphen Sibley. It's checked off from the voter list. And there's a hand count sheet there if it's being
or
approved.
should we do a motion to,
do a motion to accept that she's a voter. It's been annotated by the assistant clerk. And then would take a motion to accept the findings of the vote, which should be in this case, I presume, I think it's for Harrison, for Warren, and no others.
don't
Should
think
I
we're
be
gonna
doing that?
Yeah, I don't think that we're gonna put into the record, the result of how the voter voted. I think that we should do a motion to, accept the vote of,
It's qualified.
as qualified.
Make a motion to accept the vote of Ann Horsley Sibley as a qualified vote.
Second,
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
This is the mission I have for her. What do you want me to do with it?
Someone's going to read off the information from the ballot to me so I can hand count it, or should the board hand count it? Didn't it say they had to be hand
Yeah,
counted by
sorry,
the board?
it should be tapped.
Right, that's what I thought,
Sorry.
okay.
Do we want
Who
to do
would
the
like the
count
honor?
of the ballots at the end, after we accept all the votes? Yeah.
I think it has to be done. Are there any more 1-1s?
Yes,
Yeah, there's,
yeah, there's,
three more,
There's
three more.
So let's do the 1-1.
Right.
yeah,
We'll get 1-1.
For the one, either yes or no, and
Okay.
then we'll count them.
this is Catherine Ruff. She is a special qualified, meaning she is not a registered voter in the city of Gloucester. But she has, I have verified the address and confirmed appropriately the last place she resided. A lot of these are repetitive too.
How do we receive this one?
Email.
May
They're
I
all
ask a
in- most of
question
them are all
on this
email.
sheet that you handed out? Everybody is identified as voter or SQ,
Yeah.
except Ann. How come she's not?
I probably missed it.
That was
yeah,
just,
we
That was the one
we
you
said
asked
she,
for.
we said she was a
that was
voter.
just a,
Yeah, that was just me.
okay.
I did this in a hurry, sorry.
I have a question about this, like, she's not a registered voter here.
Ann is a registered voter here.
No,
Catherine
this-
Ruff.
Oh, Catherine Ruff
Catherine.
is not. no.
He's not. How do we know that she didn't vote in Oakland, California.
We don't.
So this is one possible way that there could be some voter fraud. Again, I'm not at all thinking
You're
any.
not suggesting it, you're just asking.
I'm saying that this seems like a possible way that voter fraud could be. And I don't know if there's something for us, in the future, is there a way to look at something in the system? I mean, obviously, we can't look out, we can look at Massachusetts.
Right.
But we can't look at any other state. So I would question that there could be somebody, especially someone that's, where we have the snowbirds and stuff that go down to Florida or something, and I wonder if this, because there's nothing in the system that prevents them from having voted in
Well,
another place.
Let me ask you this, where did you get the basis for 9 Gearing Road, Gloucester as a residence?
They fill that application out.
Can we verify it?
I have verified it.
So we have a Catherine Ruff living it, has an address of 9 Gearing Road, Gloucester.
Previously,
Okay,
and or family resided.
so that's one of your offsets. At least there's a family member that
It's
lives in Gloucester.
It's a federal program, federal voting assistance program, and so when we get these applications in, and these are just FOB applications, there's also the federal postcard application, which requires me to send the full ballot automatically. So the guideline is you have to verify the last place, try to verify the last place they resided prior to leaving the country. So if I was to get that application in another, yes, I don't know how they would control them versus us, because
Right, well, that's what I'm
it's a
saying.
big world.
Right, they could have a last address, have a parent's address in another state, have a sibling in another
Right,
state.
that's what I'm saying.
And they could do this 3
It's not,
times.
we're only trying to
Right.
verify what the law requires us to do. All I'm saying is that maybe we, as the Board of Registrars, could send something to the Secretary of State saying, expressing this, quandary is, is there some way that the Commonwealth of Massachusetts can, take these, not, let us do our thing, but then they could take them and somehow put them in a federal system just to make sure there's not a duplicate vote. It's not, I understand that, ours, we're doing our thing the way it's
I
supposed
don't
to
know
be.
if the state has some back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, I
back
don't know, but
office
if we were to, if
investigation
we were
that
to
they do.
ask the Secretary of State to, sort of respond to the query.
Because they do, it does go on a report.
Statute doesn't allow it. She's signing it on the pains and penalties.
Yeah, they sign under the pains and penalties of
Saying she's
perjury.
not resting place on the,
So-
unfortunately, short of, the onus becomes on us to prove it's a fraud.
Right.
And,
Just gonna put this back in the
working with
envelope.
both my men.
There's a paper clip with this.
That's a conundrum we have with these
Yeah.
things, because it's federal statute. They do it in pains and penalty perjury unless you know it's false, then it becomes a federal offense. Thank God we don't have many, but if you multiply by the count.
I had 120.
120 times 400 plus towns, you could go to town.
There is a report that the state, we enter this into the state's database, and there are reports, so they could potentially,
But they have to
Check.
cross-reference the other.
they'd have to
other states.
cross-reference. Well, we do have a cross-reference to state system for voter registration and all. I don't know if they go anything further than this with.
Yeah,
any of these
that's my good
applications.
question for us to
I think
ask.
so,
the-
for today, I think the conversation is a really good one, and we can put it on a meeting for a future Board of
Right, right.
Registrars.
It does
meeting
not
to have a
affect anything
discussion.
we're doing today.
For today, we are required by law.
Right, yeah, oh, no, absolutely.
That's a legislative thing.
I would like to have it on a future agenda.
Okay.
Yeah, we have till tomorrow, Wednesday, to certify this election.
Yeah, no.
Getting these votes in is
yeah.
a lot of work to do
All right,
beyond
you
the
got my
meeting.
9 Gearing Street is a.
9 Gearing Road.
I did.
Make a motion, I'm sorry, I apologize.
And then this is Charles, same address, same family. Also a special qualified, not a voter.
I don't want to look at his overseas address pictures.
And we're not gonna look at the vote until we're done with all Ward 1 and then.
Yeah,
we'll-
do you want them to initial the applications, Grace, or for the approval? How are we going to, I didn't create it.
We're reading the record.
Yeah, we can initial the applications after.
Yeah.
Just to
Okay,
close the
when we-
the loop with them, yeah.
Make a motion, we authorize the clerk to initially applications after been accepted by the registrars.
Second,
You made a motion that we accept just Catherine, is that what you just said?
Well, because we want to annotate somehow on this document that we've approved it, rather than all three of us initialing it, just
Yep.
made a motion that once, if we accept the ballot on a motion, then we'll allow the clerk to make an annotation on the ballot, just one versus four. I've seen your handwriting, we'll never understand anyway.
I can stamp your facsimile stamps on it.
So it's been moved by Mark, seconded by Barry for the city clerk to initial the applications once approved as being accepted by the board. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so now we're back to the application of Charles.
So I have Catherine here.
No, we've done that one already.
So what do you want
Oh,
me to
can
do?
pass that to me.
That's Catherine Ruff, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Make a motion that we accept the ballot of Catherine Ruff.
This
Second.
is broken.
Any discussion? All in favor?
aye,
Aye.
It's 3 in favor, 0 opposed.
Sorry. Charles Ruff.
see, this one was timestamped, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, his mailing address is actually in Canada.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And again, for future, you're gonna attach the email receipt
Sure.
to the thing, but for this one, we're gonna do it.
I would make a,
There'll be 100 and, well, this time there was 120 of them, that only this few needed to be brought up at this meeting.
I make a motion that we accept that's Charles, right?
And this is their son, Arthur, I believe.
And
We
let's
have a
let
motion on the
finish.
table.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Motion by Barry. Is there a second to accept the ballot of Charles Ruff?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Yeah, that gives us back to you.
Yes, sir.
What I'm now holding is Arthur Ruff, the son, again, same family address of 9 Gearing Road, Gloucester, same mailing address of 14 Clarendon Avenue, Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Time stamped in October 30th, it looks like, with the city clerk.
So that's Warden Precinct 1.
Yeah.
Right.
Hang on, let's finish this one first.
No, I'm just gonna open the book. He is a voter.
Yeah, his is marked.
What's the name?
Arthur Ruff.
No, that was
Oh, Charles.
Okay, you put Charles down here as an.
No, that, yeah, that
I
was
have
Arthur,
Arthur in my name.
Arthur,
We
yeah,
did Charles before.
right.
And just for the record, Charles was an SQ.
right.
Charles
Yes.
is an SQ.
Yes, was Catherine was SQ. Arthur was the voter.
We haven't got Catherine yet.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, we did.
Yes, we did. That's the first one we did.
So Charles was a voter.
Yes.
You did Catherine.
No.
you did Charles.
Charles was an SQ. Arthur is
Look
the
at-
only
it's
voter
on
of
that
those,
slip I gave you.
that family.
We have top.
Arthur's the son, he was the voter.
I would make a motion that we accept Arthur's.
There's
So moved. I mean, second.
any discussion? All in favor?
Right.
Aye.
Motion passes.
That'll 1-1.
No, there's one more there in precinct 2.
Oh, no.
So we'll do 1-1.
1-1. Not
In 1-1,
We'll go
yes.
precinct by precinct.
I don't have the sheet, I didn't make a fifth copy, so that's just it for 1-1, I believe.
Yes, that's it.
1, 2,
Next one's 1-2.
4.
So we've accepted the ballots of those 4 people.
That's
Correct.
Now, do we want to count the
Now we
names?
want to
And
count
now
them.
we're gonna count those ballots.
We'll check them into the book and.
Someone will read off the address and, well, actually, just the votes,
Yeah.
and somebody will tally them.
Make red on this.
Yes.
And will the ballots have a number? Will the ballots be numbered? Have a
Yes,
number on
please,
them?
number the ballot.
Okay, I have the first one, which is Ann Horsley Sibley. Local address in 1 Bickford Way, Gloucester. And I don't have the ballot. Oh,
Take the
right.
ballots out at
Bye.
this point and shuffle them so that we're not associating the votes with the voter.
Yeah, I got it.
Don't look at
Then
it.
we're gonna shuffle them and number them.
So you have two?
Yep,
Yeah, Mark, you're gonna be reading those off?
yeah, I have 4
Okay.
ballots.
I have a column here for ballot number 1, ballot number 2. So whoever you read off first, you've got to write on that
Yep,
somehow.
yep, yep.
That's ballot number 1.
Okay.
Red pen, red pen.
Red pencil. All right, ballot number 1. President, Vice President Harrison Waltz. U.S. Senator Liz Ann Warren. U.S. Representative Beth Moulton. No other nominations. No other votes.
So you would put, well, they're not on there, so we don't even put blanks in.
Ballot number 2.
Excuse me, do I do anything except those
Nope.
remarks? Okay.
Ballot number 2. President, Vice President Harrison Waltz. U.S. Senator Elizabeth Ann Warren. No other annotations.
I'm sorry, you want me to vote
No,
one?
it's fine.
Okay,
I see it.
go ahead.
Ballot number 3. For President, Harris Waltz. Senator, and Elizabeth Ann Warren. No other annotations. You got that?
I do.
Ballot number 4. President, Vice President Harrison Waltz. U.S. Senator Elizabeth Ann Warren. U.S. Representative Seth Moulton. No other annotations.
Before? It's off?
The names are also here for you to make sure you get the right column.
Okay, so I have a total of 10 votes. I have a total of 10 votes. Want to do anything else?
Sign, you need to sign the sheets,
I'm sorry?
sign the sheet. You and Mark can sign it. Dated, I suppose.
And my date,
Yeah.
18.
No spot.
which is probably the 18th. Anywhere.
Anyway, it's fine.
Make the signature legible right now.
Right.
We don't have our hand scratched there.
One in red.
You got to sign too. I'm in the mind. We should have.
Marie brings things that we can color with, so. Is
Can you fold those right inside the count, the hand count sheet, please? Sorry. Thank you.
That covers Ward 1 precinct 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Four down.
The next
Go.
one is Ward 1, Precinct 2. We have Raphael Jaba. This came through the mail. And unfortunately, it was time stamped And it was I didn't get to it to see this, to timestamp this. The person who took in the mail timestamped the envelope. I didn't timestamp this because it was later in the day. I didn't want it to be a discrepancy of the time on this one, so this is not timestamped, but the envelope is. And this is the envelope as well.
And and you're
Yeah.
presenting the board that
So that came via parcel post from Ukraine.
it was timestamped in on November
Fifth.
3rd.
Thirteenth. Postal is November 5th.
Right.
So that's what you have to be sure that it
November's
was,
gonna run them all.
posted,
All right.
post dated by,
Post, the envelope for Raphael Jaba's post dated. I am number 11.
I found it.
Got European.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
Didn't
not
have postage on it.
it's not the 13th month, no.
It's Ukraine, it may be. All right, timestamp is 11/5/2020 from the post office and 11/13 from the clerk's office. And this is a voter?
I believe Mr. Java is a voter.
Yes. What are you? Yep. Dark Knight Heights.
Anybody stamp collectors? Oh, no.
I know.
Leave it out there. Leave it,
I won't
keep your
confirm
brother
that,
away from it. Only the stamp collector to watch it.
Clean collectors.
I know.
When he was like, yeah.
Farm, make some money.
Okay, I'm good.
I'll make a motion that we accept his thing as a qualified voter.
Second.
Moved by Barry, seconded by Mark. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The vote is 3 in favor, 0 opposed to accept the vote of Raphael Java.
Now, since there's only one person from this precinct, we're gonna look at the vote. I mean,
They do waive their right to a secret ballot when they vote in this manner.
okay, they
To the
do.
extent that we're able to, we keep
Right.
it private, but in this situation, we're not able
Okay.
to.
Okay, Doug, open the ballot. In the envelope.
Which one?
The little one. Stop ripping it.
Well, it's patient. And so I only have one
The first one we have to do is-
officer, sorry?
Before we do that, we need to check it into.
Yeah, and I have to go get, I got the wrong one. That's S, right? I brought 1 through M.
No, it's Java,
No, the
Java.
address.
JABBA.
Oh, Stockton Heights.
Yeah.
That's what
Dark
it
Knight,
is.
oh, put it on the address.
Woodland Street.
Fun. Not gonna be pretzels.
I was gonna say, what,
Better preempt that one.
Just have a break. You might explain to me again what an SQ is, what all that means?
A specially qualified voter is someone who is specially qualified to vote, who is not a registered voter. So they're
Okay,
specially qualified by nature of their situation. So
okay,
these people would be residing overseas, they're American citizens, have not lived in or have ever voted, registered to vote in the country. And so by virtue of their citizenship, they are qualified to vote in federal elections, even though they are not registered.
and they're the ones that we need to have some tie in here.
Yes.
And mothers.
A family tie or something like that,
All right,
and we're going on a whim based on their affidavit.
all right.
And that's the one that later, after we're done with this, that we'll have that discussion about requesting the Secretary of State or querying the Secretary of State, whether the Secretary of State has a way of checking on a federal list to make sure that there aren't, duplicate votes.
All right.
But that'll be after we've done all this for them.
My sense is like he doesn't have it.
Yeah, that would be my guess too, because if he had it, he would have already passed it down here that you'd have access to it.
She has to take it in.
Okay, so you want me to do what?
Just
Give
the-
it back to her. so
The
she can-
address. No,
Uh,
read off the
I
address.
would need something that I've already given you,
Oh, where's the?
if I don't have the address. That makes sense?
Yeah,
This is,
Seven.
okay, yes,
Box 2.
my last name is,
Read the address first, so-
okay, 7 Stocknot Heights,
7 Stocknot Heights.
now you read the name.
and now, you want last name, first name?
Lesson.
Okay, Java Raphael.
There's 2 Raphaels. Is there a surname? I mean, junior, senior?
Junior.
Jose.
You have a middle name of Jose.
Mm-hmm. Is,
Oh,
So what do you ask me?
is there a junior? I have the full name.
Oh, there is a junior? Yes,
Okay.
Raphael Java Jr.
there's a miss and there's a junior. And it's
Okay.
born in 57. Parts his hair on the left.
Okay, now you can read in the photo, wise one.
I actually do know Mr. Java.
Okay, so now I'm giving,
I'll take the application
You take
and you
that.
can take the ballot out of the envelope, which you've already done. And you'll get a hand count sheet. Two. So you can't do both.
Somebody else
Somebody has
can
to
do-
read. and-
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, voting for federal office, Donald Trump and JD Vance for president and vice president. That's the only vote listed on this ballot.
One and circle it here in red.
okay? So now
Sign.
I sign this,
You don't need to total one.
and the date is
I wrote it.
okay, the date's already there. Oh, she wants it legible, so she was so.
You're the one to give it to him.
And I have one there and one there.
No, nothing at the bottom. Nope, because that's the vote, that's a
Oh,
vote,
okay.
blank vote for the
So I don't
registration.
have a total.
Not going down.
All right, so I think I got ones all over the place. The one's one.
Who's holding?
Okay, hold it in the middle, right? Next one is Ward 3, Precinct 1.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
You have staple remover, yeah, staples.
No, you don't need to, but it can't be counted. I just brought it. Take a look at it.
Mr. ballot was received.
I think it was a receipt tonight,
Too late, so.
or it might have had another vote already. What does it say
No
on
ballot
there?
received 10/24.
There is no note. You have a
No.
yes received
On here.
and a no FWAB.
Full ballot received. So on this one, for Margaret Dillon,
Wait a minute, I thought,
I
Right.
received a full ballot from her, so this one doesn't get opened.
What do you mean you got,
oh, okay,
so you have, this is a duplicate?
Yes. It's not a duplicate. See, what happens when they send the FWAB applications in, it turns into an absentee ballot application. And if time allows, I'm obligated to send her a full ballot based on the information verified through this application. And that we did, and then I received a full ballot on 10/24. I received this on October 21st. I received her full ballot from the one I emailed her on 10/24.
So if we've got that one in 10/21,
Mhm.
why didn't that take precedence over the 10/24?
Because this is a FWAB, it's a federal write-in absentee ballot.
Right,
And that they only get counted if the full ballot is not received. That's the law.
okay.
So we
what I
won't
kinda
count
got-
this. I'm just kind of showing it to you so you can
yeah,
get
so
the whole
this one just
process.
doesn't count,
It doesn't count here with the FWAB.
Right.
Her ballot did count.
right, in
And it was
actuality.
it was hand counted on election
So
night.
make a
I
motion,
think everything in column 5 with a yes is not counted. Ballot received, if that's a yes,
That was just based
then it's
on
not
my,
counted. Is that correct?
yeah, those are based on my findings.
all right, so we're gonna make a motion
But
without
the board-
accepting the partial ballot of Margaret Dillon, Ward
Right.
Precinct 1.
That's,
This, something like this kind of helps you understand the program a little bit more, so I kept it in.
You're trying to confuse us.
No, I just trying to teach you.
Like just jotting down this motion. I'll finish my
Um,
motion to not accept the ballot of Margaret Dillon.
On the-
Made by Mark, seconded by Barry. Any discussion?
And the discussion is, so we're assuming, because I have a yes on the ballot received,
Hmm.
that
Full
ballot,
ballot received, yeah, FPCA.
that ballot,
because I have a yes here.
that
and I am
supersedes this
assuming-
ballot.
I am assuming that ballot has
It has.
been put in there.
It was counted on election night.
Right, right. But I'm saying that I'm assuming it, because you're not proving it to me.
No,
Okay, so I'm assuming because I have a yes, that the ballot was received, processed properly and counted.
Yep,
We're
that's all.
required by law to count them on election
Right.
night.
great,
Yep.
great. We're doing this based on the representation of the election clerk.
So all in favor?
Right,
Aye.
Yes.
Motion passes.
we go on to Ward 4,
Precinct 1.
precinct 1.
yep, this is Joao Damasio Oliveira. She is not, I think it's a woman. She is not a voter.
Is she in Salvador or is she in Brazil?
I think it's El Salvador, Brazil. I think that's the city, Salvador.
The other country of Brazil?
Yes. I got confused on it myself. I was like, okay. Hers came in late, I think, not later, not late for this, but it was later than. She was one of the last ones. Was that on election day or close to election day?
Do we have the date that was accepted?
There's an email on this one.
Oh, this one. This is what I'm looking for. Yay. Yes.
And the email I attached to that because her overseas address is not in box 3 on her application.
Got it. Okay.
Well, it
so-
is now because I wrote it, but
Okay.
she emailed it.
And just for the record, you verified a familial address, right?
Oh, yes. Is there a check mark on the left of box 2?
Yes.
Yes, there is.
I don't know.
That's how no, that's my,
Okay,
I don't like,
no, that's fine.
Actually.
think again, did I
to
do
me,
that? Did I?
It's a reverse check mark. I don't
It's a
want that.
left-handed check mark. Don't be discriminatory. Well, you're left-handed as
Yes, I
well,
am.
though.
You have to be hanging around with a right-hand man, so you gotta go with the left check mark.
Okay,
Why don't you give it back to Ray, let him make the
to
motion.
who?
You could have left that.
I would make the motion that we accept the ballot of. I don't know how to pronounce that. Joa.
Joao, I said.
Joao and
But I don't know if it was right.
Damasio Oliveira, as a specially qualified
That's
voter.
Second.
Been moved by Barry, seconded by Mark. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
No, so
No,
we don't do this yet because there's more than one in this,
Correct.
more than one in this precinct.
Yeah.
You verify who it's for.
It's not gonna be in this book because she's not a voter.
Did you verify the address?
It's not gonna be, she won't, I don't need to check her out.
Okay.
She won't be in the book. Oh, Mr. Kevin Finney, he is a
Um,
voter.
Right. Oh, two, that's right. When was this one accepted?
Not timestamp.
Nope.
Whoops.
Wait a minute, I take it back, I'm sorry. November 5th, 9 o'clock. I stand corrected.
AM, right?
9 something.
That has to be after, oh no, they all get, yeah. That was an emailed one, I believe, though, so that should be timestamped in by 8 PM on election night.
It looks like AM something.
Okay,
AM 9.
all right.
The MPM goes before the number? On the timestamp?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so. Yes.
I'm sorry, you verified the command address, right? I noticed the check.
I did.
Okay, thank you. Go for it.
Want me to-
Make a motion.
I move that we accept Kevin Finney ballot.
Second.
Been moved by Doug, seconded by Mark. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Right.
Aye.
Aye, sorry.
Passes.
Make the
Take the ballot.
Ballot out.
With that.
First, we need to check this one.
Oh,
This one is a voter. Mark, Kevin is a voter.
okay.
So
So I need
second.
to amend this.
We're gonna give his address to Marie.
Okay. Evergreen Road, 15.
Fifteen Evergreen Road,
Kevin Finney.
Kevin Finney.
Then,
Whoever's gonna,
you're doing such a good
He's
job.
gonna do
over there.
he's good at it.
Here we go.
Well, you made him drop all over the pencils, at least.
Okay.
Are you ready?
You don't deserve it because you wouldn't chop and
Right, I
pencil
would
it.
refuse it. All right, President, Vice President. Kamala Harris, no annotation for Vice President. Joint tickets, okay, it doesn't matter. For US,
That is the vote for Harris?
yes. I'm sorry, Harris Wall. And for US Senator, it's Elizabeth Warren.
No other votes?
No other votes. My apologies. For ballot number 2. President, Vice President Harris Waltz. U.S. Senator Elizabeth Ann Warren. U.S. Representative Seth Moulton. No other affirmations.
And that, I think, is it for 4-1.
The 4-1. Thank you.
So I have 2 Harris Walsh. And I have 2 Elizabeth Ann. And I have 1 Moulton, 245, 245.
You've done a good job with it.
Dates over here, so it can be read by average people.
Who you calling average?
Me.
When this meeting's over, I'm gonna resign.
I'm the only one that's gonna look at it.
See if you get another sucker with the Democratic side.
There'll be plenty if you have to.
No, they all refused.
Okay.
Try to grab me again.
Thank you.
Moving right along.
And we got Ward 4, precinct 2. Again, in this case, there's only one,
Yep.
so we can't,
Rose Trotman.
vote is the vote. You know, it comes from individual, there's no way
This
to
was a
keep.
tough one.
I think we should-
A voter.
There's a lot of papers attached to it, I think.
Uh,
Oh, because I rejected her original application. So for Rose, she sent in a regular federal postcard absentee ballot application.
mhm.
And she did not, she put in her Gloucester address in box 3, so she didn't give us the overseas address. And when I emailed her to get it, we got a FWAB in return.
Okay,
And I believe she's super young. I think it might have been her first time voting. So that's why I have extra paperwork. This is 4-2, yeah.
and I don't have stamp on the swab. Inman entered 10/1/24. Was that when you received it or when you recorded it?
It was entered and recorded the same day. Can you look at this one? It's 5.
I'm good. So I move that we accept the ballot of Rose Trotman.
Second.
Been moved by Doug, seconded by Barry. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
3 in favor, 0 opposed.
Address?
Rockholm Road, 13.
Thirteen Rockholm Road,
Rose Trotman.
Rose Trotman.
You get the count.
Say what?
Let's go count. Oh, you can, you got that thing, right?
Right.
You count.
They trained me on making up and down marks, and you don't want me to lose that training.
Exactly, we need an hour retraining.
For President and Vice President, Harris and Waltz. The only vote listed on this ballot.
Oh, I'm sorry, wait, number
Oh,
one.
that's number one. I want to use this one.
Sure. You get to sign it or why? You're done.
Legible date.
Ward 5, Precinct 2.
1?
2.
2.
Yes, says that's probably already, she's already been
Yeah.
returned to ballot, and they could
I
vote.
might have made an error there. Customers Ave, 5-1.
5,
She
You
made
say
a
5-2
boo-boo.
on your
I
sheet?
only have a 5-2, I don't have a 5-1.
Oh, you should change that to 5-1, but let me confirm that in the book. Hold up. Vespers Ave is 5-1.
Yep,
Pardon me?
Is all of it 5-1?
yeah. I think it was along Western Avenue.
What's that?
This one says that the FPCA ballot was received.
Oh, what does it say on it?
Keep on going. Received, time stamped, October
Yeah.
28th, 9-something AM, 9:30 AM.
Oh, that's not to be counted. Do you want to pass it around?
Is that to be counted? Do
Right,
not count
We-
full ballot received?
yes.
Oh. And you're verifying for the record, we have a full ballot.
Mhm.
Yep, this full ballot. This is 11-4.
What they correct?
I would make a motion that we reject that one.
So Heather Lake, Ward 5,
Precinct 1.
second.
Been moved by Barry, seconded by,
I don't think we can reject that one, that's not good.
it's
There's always a comedian in the crowd.
Well, thank you for
Well,
correcting
if-
the motion.
It depends on whether their last name was that, the first name was one, or the one. No.
Motion,
it's been moved by Barry, seconded by Mark. Is there any discussion?
Not anymore.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, that concludes, I believe,
1 minute. Oh, yeah, it does
the
complete.
counting of the ballots, the federal write-in absentee ballot.
yeah,
This
that's
is
it.
mine, yes.
I didn't know if the board just wanted to just look over these. I brought them just in case. All of the names if you're interested or not, or the people, or the, you know, these are just the reports for the UO Carver and the Quabs. So I just brought them.
These are what,
These are all the people who applied for,
okay,
a FWAB or a federal voting,
yeah,
through the portal. So this is
It's
the
just nice
list.
to know.
Yeah, and this is just a list of all the, voters who
You said
got
there
it
was like
through
110 of
democracy
them or
law,
something?
120.
Yeah.
And now with these few, there's whatever we did here. These are all the ballots that came through the new Democracy Live Omni Ballot portal. It was a great portal. The people really liked it. It was easy for them. Little bit difficult administrative wise to get used to, but it was a new program this, I think it started last year. And it really took off this year because presidential, there was 120 of them.
Mm.
So there's a list there.
so this thing that I'm looking at is all the people who requested that we sent stuff out to. There's nothing here to say that we received
Oh, yeah,
anything from them.
accepted in that
The
column.
accepted is that they sent the ballot back,
Mhm.
okay, right?
Just showing you the whole program, how
yeah.
it works, what the volume is that we have.
Okay,
It's a
you have a
lot.
sense of how many requested actually voted?
I don't, I haven't totaled that out, but
Right.
most of them did.
Okay, so you had
I-
nearly,
I-
you had over 90%.
I think I got 150 requests.
Yeah.
It's not 90%, but, I would have to count them
I
up.
mean, I'm really asking because Jason made that comment that there's
Right.
like a 10 or 20%
He was referring to the,
return.
the vote
Yeah.
by mail, not this.
Okay,
And vote by mail generally, we're working on getting the numbers for that now. as to
Yeah.
How many people requested,
right,
voted early instead, voted at the polls
Yeah.
instead, or didn't return the ballot at all. And usually the number is decently high for people that request but don't return.
uh-huh,
I don't know that his statistics were correct, but it's not.
How does he make that statement? I mean, where does he get the data from? If you haven't, in the office, haven't even done it, you know. Oh,
He's-
yeah, how
He
would
had
he said
asked-
normally,
Yeah,
Oh.
he had asked me if generally everybody returns them, and I had said no. It's generally fairly not the greatest return rate
Right.
for vote by mail ballots.
Right.
It's like
But it's a
11.
great expense for the city to go ahead and send all the stuff out.
Quick count, there was 11 not received.
11 not received of 150, okay.
Well, it must have been less than 150.
Yeah, yeah. So I am extrapolating from our conversation that the paper ballots seems to be a low percentage of return, but this thing, this
The
more,
paper ballots for this election were not a low.
Yeah,
A lot
right.
of people that returned,
Yeah.
that requested did return them, but
Yeah.
broadly
Yeah.
speaking.
on a non-Trump election of returns.
Maybe not Trump
I
per
was
se.
waiting- I was waiting for that to
Presidential.
come in. I was waiting for that.
Strike that from the minutes.
More presidential than who the
Yeah.
candidate would be.
All right, so, we have to stay focused on what the matter is that we're here for, so that
Maybe you can
Any-
get
Went
tallying.
for the agenda.
we run through the agenda. So is there a motion to adjourn?
I'd like to, before we adjourn the meeting, I understand we've, met the agenda, but I would like to see if there's a way that the city could check with the Secretary of State.
Right, I have a note here to put that on a future Board of Registrars meeting.
Okay.
We can discuss it in more
Okay,
detail.
more detail
Yeah.
before we go.
Yes.
Okay.
I would think a phone call would be that.
Right.
I thought Barry wanted to write a letter
Yeah,
though
okay.
to put the,
Yeah, I guess that it would be nice to have it in
Yeah.
writing that either yes, there is, or no, there is not something, because, but again, that'll be the discussion of another meeting.
is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion adjourned.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned at 12:11.
Everybody.
A good time was had by all.